Amber Heard, I'm sorry, Blake Lively is in a whole world of trouble, and it is all of her own making this time. Listen, wherever you stand in her battle against Justin Baldoni, whether you agree with her or with him, it doesn't matter. This behavior is abhorrent, and that is targeting YouTubers who are discussing the lawsuit. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side. Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake Vidcast, where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. If you want to support me in the work that I do, head on over to my new website, studiojakemedia.substack.com, where you can find even more pop culture articles. Thank you in advance. The link is in the description of the video. So Blake Lively, I've covered this before. She is in this battle with director Justin Baldoni, who was also her co-star of It Ends With Us, and she has engaged in a lawsuit with him, and he has countersued her. It's been back and forth, and it doesn't look very good for her. Now, she has had some courtroom victories, but so has Justin Baldoni. We're just waiting to see when it all develops. It hasn't gone to trial yet. They're still in the deposition phase of this thing. So who knows how it's going to go. However, whether you think that she is the problem, that she's a spoiled brat celebrity who didn't get her way, threw a hissy fit, and used her star power to intimidate an entire film studio into editing a film that was about women survivors and turning it into some sort of weird dramatic romance, or if you side with Justin Baldoni, you see him as, yes, a weak man, but one who was just trying to get a film out there, one who actually loved the book that the movie is based on, and is now intimidated by Blake and her husband Ryan Reynolds' star power. However you land on that spectrum, it doesn't matter. You can be for her or for Baldoni, but whatever the case, what she is doing to YouTubers is not okay. She is systematically targeting them by intimidating them with court and lawyer speak so that they won't talk about her case. So this is according to page 6. Blake Lively has been accused of intimidation and harassment by a YouTuber seeking a protective order against her. Lauren Naidi, whose username on the platform is LethalLauren904, made this request in a letter to a judge on Monday, according to Us Weekly. Naidi blasted Lively, 37, for subpoenaing her and fellow content creators Mackenzie Folks and Cassidy O'Connell, and the actress's legal war with It Ends With Us co-star Justin Baldoni. Lively's team notably dropped the subpoenas earlier this week. However, Nighty felt compelled to reach out to the judge and claimed the Gossip Girl alums' lawyers had been largely unresponsive after filing the subpoena, where they even asked for her banking information. She wrote, Lively's subpoena targeted creators who have expressed uncomfortable opinions about her online. The subpoena was not supported by any evidence. It served to intimidate, harass, chill constitutionally protected free speech, and threaten the safety and privacy of non-parties. Naidi pointed out in her letter that Lively did not close the door on reissuing the subpoenas, leaving an undue burden on the YouTubers in question. To prevent the ongoing threat of further abuse discovery requests, Naidi requested a protective order. Additionally, she asked for sanctions. Lively's rep did not immediately respond to page 6's request for comment. Please note, I am not familiar with this YouTuber. I am not familiar at all with the content of the channel. I am not familiar with anything, and if I mispronounced the name of the host, please let me know. But I still think it is wrong for Blake Lively to do this, and the fact that her lawyers didn't even say, hey, listen, we won't contact you again. We just got a little trigger happy with the subpoenas we were issuing, so say la vie, no hard feelings, bye. No, this is bad. What if Blake Lively decides to subpoena me, a guy who has less than 2,000 subs? She's going to come and pick on me because I side with Justin Baldoni. I think if you listen to the recordings that have been released, you watch the footage that has been released, you see the text and the email exchanges, it is clear she was trying to leverage the Me Too movement, which has long been forgotten about, the whole Me Too Time's Up stuff that had a great start calling out predators like Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby, but soon developed into an unstoppable snowball effect that ended up attacking innocent men for just existing. Soon, silence became violence. Just looking in a woman's direction became some form of harassment, and it was ridiculous. And Blake Lively tried to leverage that into something with Justin Baldoni. In the end, I think it's going to ultimately fail her. But let me just say that now, as much as I was on Justin Baldoni's side, now I'm even more on his side. Justin Baldoni, as far as I know, has not tried to intimidate YouTubers who have sided with Blake, but Blake and her husband and all of his millions that he made from Deadpool movies, they're going to use that star power, that celebrity, to intimidate YouTubers just for commenting on the case. I think that is disgusting. I think that is despicable. It also shows just how far behind Hollywood is when it comes to social media and video sharing platforms. They are still in the Stone Age, but they think they're in the future. It is pathetic, it is sad, and it just goes to show how desperate Blake Lively is to sort of hijack the narrative to make it look like she is in the right. And this is just my opinion. I think she is in the wrong. I'm not a lawyer, I have no legal advice, but I think Justin Baldoni has done the right thing by releasing all the information, by releasing everything that he possibly can, and I think he should do it even more. I think we should find more clips of Blake Lively being a spoiled brat in interviews, saying, "Where are your florals, ladies?" To it ends with us a story about a woman who is in a toxic marriage that ends up becoming very, very scary. And she decided to use it as a way to pander to people, and she wore all these ridiculous outfits. She named a drink after the character who was supposed to be the toxic husband in the relationship. That is how out of touch this woman is. It is insane to me. And I really think that Ryan Reynolds, maybe he ought to pull the reins back a little bit on this and just say, hey, this is a bad idea. We're going after influencers now who are just commenting on it, and maybe they have opinions that Reynolds and Blake don't like. Tough. This is the United States of America. We're not in Canada, where Ryan Reynolds is from, where you can get arrested for telling an off-color joke. This is America. We have freedom of speech, and they need to get with the program. If you liked that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment to what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. Don't forget that you can support me by heading on over to my new website. Link is in the description of the video. It is studiojakemedia.substack.com. You can subscribe at different levels that unlock different perks, and one of them includes choosing a topic for the website, and another, you get to choose the topic for the vidcast. Obviously, limitations apply, but thank you in advance for those of you who do. At that same website, there's a conveniently titled Buy My Books section. It's where you can find one or all four of my novels. I've got links all over the place, but they're all available on Amazon.com. Check them out. Leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.